Parsha Shmois, we are witness to the oncoming of Moshe Rabbeinu. One of the frequently spoken about topics by the Balei Musa is how was it that Moshe Rabbeinu was zoiche to gadlus? He became the Manig Yisrael. What midah was it? What was special about Moshe Rabbeinu that because of that he developed in being the greatest person that ever lived? And what the Balei Musa point to is the midah of noisei ba'olam chaveiroi. Is the fact that Moshe Rabbeinu, he would always be concerned about his fellow Jew, his friend, and that from there he propelled himself to becoming the Moshe Rabbeinu. Vayar b'sivloisam, he saw their pain, he saw their anguish. When I started going to Poland 20 years ago, the first time, I didn't really know what I wanted to discuss, what I wanted to be the focus of the things that we spoke about. I went to various Gedolim, and I asked them what I should speak about. The first Godel that I went to was Rabbi Felman. Rabbi Yenison David. Rabbi Yenison David. Yenison David is the son-in-law of the Pachad Yitzchok, Rabbi Tzokutna. So he pointed to a Gemara in Yevomis, Daf Mem Zayin Amud Aleph. A very fascinating Gemara. Tana Rabbanon. Ger Shebala is Gayer. A ger comes, a goy comes, and he wants to be Megayer. Bizman Hazeh. Today. Oimim Loi, we say to him, Mara Isa Shatabala is Gayer. Why are you coming to be Megayer? Why are you coming to convert? Do you not know? She Yisrael Bizman Hazeh, that the Jewish people today, Dvuyim, Tchufim, Schufim, and Muturofim, they are out of control. They have problems like nobody's business. The Yisurim boim aleihem. And they're constantly with pain and anguish. Im oimne. So if the guy's response to hearing this is, Yoideyani, ve'eini kadai, I know about it, but I don't even deserve it. I still don't deserve to be a Jew. So Rashi, on these words, Eini Kadai, Ve'eini roi l'shtatev b'tzarosan. I'm not on the level that I should be worthy of being able to be mishtatev b'tzarosan, to bear the pain of the Jewish people. Umi yitein ve'ezke lakach. Halavai, I would be on that level that I would be able to carry the pain of the Jewish people. If that's what he says, mi itein ve'ezke lakach, the Kabbalah said, we accept him. So we see over here that the very first thing that a goy needs in order to become a Jew is that acceptance upon himself that he is going to be mishtatev b'tzarosan shel Yisrael. He cares about the tzara of the Jewish people. There's a story that's told in Yerushalayim about Rabbi Zalman Meltzer and Rabbi Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld, two of the greatest Gedolim of 100 years ago. Rabbi Zalman noticed that Rabbi Yosef Chaim goes to the mikveh very often to be toivel. So he said to him, Yerushalayim Arov, why do you go so often to the mikveh? Like, what do you need it so much? So he says, I'll tell you, I have a kal v'chomer. If a mikveh can take a goy and turn the goy into a yid, so then Allah has kama v'kama, for sure, it could take a yid and make a yid a better yid. So I, myself, take that kal v'chomer and take it a step further. Because before the goy even goes to the mikveh, to be mekabel geirs, he has to go to the mikveh, and there's milah, tvila, kabbalas mitzvahs. But before that, we just saw in the Gemara, He has to be makabel to be mishtatev b'tzarosin shel Yisrael. He wants to accept upon himself, he cares about his fellow Jew. So if caring about a Jew is what's going to take a goy and turn him into a yid, so alachas kama v'kama, how much more so if we as Jewish people care about our fellow Jew, how much more so is it going to take us and turn us into better Jews? We see in this week's Parsha, the Pasuk says, Vayidgal Moshe. Moshe Rabbeinu became Gadol. What is the difference between a Gadol and a Katan? Those of you that have children, small little children, the baby knows only about his diaper, about his bottle. He knows about his pacifier. He knows about his toy. It's his. Everything is his. It's all about him. Only when a person becomes older, when he matures, he becomes a gadol, then he knows that there's somebody else in the world, and he pays attention to the other person. How fascinating is it that the Pasuk says, Vayigdal Moshe, Moshe became older, Vayetze Elahom, and he went out to his brethren. Because he went out of himself. That's a siman of godless. Rabbi Folks should be always quotes Rabbi Meir Bloch. That Rabbi Meir Bloch asks a fascinating question on Moshe Rabbeinu's conduct in this week's Parsha. Moshe Rabbeinu saw the Mitzri beating the Jew. So Moshe Rabbeinu went and he beat the Mitzri. And we would have to question Moshe Rabbeinu's behavior. Moshe Rabbeinu is here sitting pretty in the palace of the king. He is in the place that any Mossad agent would want to be. By the enemy, under the table of the enemy. He's privy to everything that's going on in Mitzrayim, to the state secrets. Could you imagine what he can do from such a position to help the Jewish people? Yet, he sees a Jew being hit by a Mitzri, and he gives it up just in order to beat that Mitzri. Is it really worthwhile? Look what he gave up. He gave up such an opportunity. So Rabbi Meir Bloch says that if Moshe Rabbeinu were not to have taken the issue of the Mitzri into hand, we would have lost something even greater. True, we lost the state secrets. We lost being privy to very, very privileged information. But we would have lost something greater. We would have lost Moshe Rabbeinu. Because a Moshe Rabbeinu that sees his friend being beaten and he doesn't come to the rescue, that's not Moshe Rabbeinu. That would have been much, much more tragic. So here we see in this week's Parsha, the key to godless, the key to Judaism and the key to godless is being mishtatef b'tzarosin shel Yisrael, to carry the pain of our fellow Jews. We live today in a generation where we are overwhelmed with people that have difficulties, all types of tests. If it's health, if it's wealth, if it's lack of shidduch, lack of children, all types of problems, people dying young, etc., etc., almonas, yisoinim, terrible, terrible, terrible things that HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided in an hour or a day before Mashiach comes, the Jewish people are going to be tested. And part of what he wants to see, undoubtedly, is how are we going to carry the burden of Klal Yisrael? Are we going to be mishtatev b'tzarosin shel Yisrael? This is what we have to accept upon ourselves when we learn the Parsha. Vayigdal Moshe, vayetze Elahom, vayar b'sivloiso. He saw the pain, he saw the anguish of the Jewish people, and he wasn't able to bear it. And he decided to act upon it. This is what has to be our approach also. Hashem should save us, that there should be no more tzaras. But whatever people are around us, and they are suffering, we have to be there for them and try to come to be to bring them salvation, Yitz Hashem. And then Hashem won't have the need anymore. Bezrat Hashem, it'll be Simcha V'Sos and Kol HaYomim, and Mashiach Tzidkenu will come and redeem us very, very soon.